All right, well, I fibbed a little bit. We thought we were going to take a short break, but it doesn't matter. We're back. We're ready to go. Map number 1, it's going to be Nouns taking on Team Mythic. You got yourself Laz here talking, and of course Paladin ready to go, and starting this season off with a bit of a banger.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Nouns and Mythic both have in store. I mean, this is going to be a really telling start for either squad, and you really want to come out the gate swinging, and I'm having high expectations from both of these teams just with the individuals on the server. There's a lot of experience, there's a lot of different things that you could talk about just for ad nauseum for all of these squads. But we've kicked it off. It's into this B site. Man advantage up for Team Mythic here.
Oh, this is a problem situation for Stamina, but he's able to find 2. Okay, bringing it back now, but all of a sudden, just as Cooper to put the old Western front up here, he's able to get the dualies out, and he's getting the job done. A pistol round gained for Mythic.
That was scrappy. I mean, I loved the kind of swing around there from Stamina. Getting 2 there is absolutely incredible from the water position, but Mythic's on the board early, and this is the kind of tempo that we wanted to set. Mythic absolutely capitalizing on pace. As soon as they've been given an opportunity, they try to run with it. And that's that kind of scrappiness that I want to look for here across this series. Really try to stick it to Nouns. Take those heads-up aim duels. And it's not going to be easy because, look, Nouns have a ton of aimers on their squad. But this death ball mentality, it's definitely something that Mythic might try to roll on through with throughout this T side. And you can see, opening through round 2, although it's a full eco, 4 men just running up long. And Nouns are kind of doing the same thing with their own death ball themselves.
Yeah, Nouns playing this pretty well, though. Again, just kind of going for that nice stack. They're just going to group up together. This is perfect. Look at this. This is a good situation right now. They got a bit of a read on this. Mythic still kind of running the clock a little bit. You can already see the utilities getting dispensed of already. But it's whether if Nouns can be able to find this and capitalize with this opportunity in the stack. They have the massive disadvantage in terms of the weapons, but never say never. And that's bwills, a little bit of a reply, and these pistols are singing, but they're not doing too much of a harmony. And there we go. Cooper cleans it up. Carson by himself, and I think it's a bit of a dream here, Paladin.
Yeah, this is a very good start for Mythic. I mean, if you wanted a competitive series, it kind of starts with the conversation of Mythic winning the pistol and trying to snowball things into their favor. And without any casualties, they've got money in the bank to stay within this should this first gun round go awry. But no EWP for Stamina out the gates thus far. With those CT changes, the A4 will be a priority for a lot of these squads, and you can see 3 on the board for Nouns. And that being said, we're returning to that meta where that first buy round, you won't have too many pieces of utility to speak of if you're on the CT side trying to prioritize the A4. So it's going to be a little bit more of an uphill battle, but you're prioritizing the better gun here for sure.
We talked about both these teams too on this map, and I mean, again, you know, when on paper Mythic have a ton of experience. I mean, they're sitting at a record of 47-57, so not a positive record, but again, able to have a lot of repetitions on this one. Whereas Nouns, a little bit different with this team. It's 3-4, so about a 42.9 win percentage. But when we kind of look at things too, Nouns, I mean, they've been able to go 1-1 versus like ATK, even Complexity. They have that same scoreline. So very different, you know, in terms of the competition. We talked a lot about this in the pre-show. So this match, or this map specifically to me, is kind of a good input to see where things can go.
How is this
gets a good starter. What the heck?
Freakazoid is in bank, and he is basically waltzed his way up banana, and now it's absolutely sandwiched both these A defenders. And Mythic, they get away with a third. Real hole in the defense there. All of bathrooms was, I guess, seemingly empty with that huge commitment to the long side, and they were never offered up anything.
Yeah, a bit of a risky play though, right? I mean, again, this is where Mythic, like this is their T side, which is not like their best side typically on this map, like through history, but they're starting to show us it's pretty good right now, Paladin, and this is a big save round coming in from Nouns, and I mean, it just all came down, like you said, to Freakazoid just finds a bit of a gap, gets himself in, easy and dusted, and man, this is a great start already.
Yeah, it really comes down to how fast are Nouns going to try to plug these holes. You can definitely tell that with the lack of utility, you wanted to be a little bit more proactive, try to take a gunfight close long side and stick it to Mythic early. but with that comes the risk of just leaving bathrooms wide open, and they shift keyed their way all the way through. I mean, walking all the way through bathrooms like that is a risk in and of itself, and so credit to Mythic and credit to Freakazoid for pulling something off like that, because I mean, you're not going to get opportunities like that too often. But guns are still up for Nouns, so Mythic are definitely not out of the woods just yet to go up against an eco, but definitely things to be thinking about if you're Nouns here early on.
Yeah, some good aggression coming in from Nouns, it looks like, but trying to actually backpedal a little bit right now. They got that connector control for the time being. Mythic have a nice little bit of a default in this situation too, so they get that mid control a little bit slowly. They're by Fountain. Again, Nouns not over-aggressing this situation. The FAMAS is going to be purchased for stamina here. He's got one piece of utility. The utility's light, man. Like, it is just, they haven't been having a full kit yet.
Yeah, and it's going to be a problem until that loss bonus builds up. It's going to come back to haunt you, and that's where you got to be just a little bit more proactive, and they definitely took that into consideration in the round previous, and this time it's Mythic, or sorry, Stamina rather, trying to play ahead of these smokes and try to be a little bit more proactive in the bathrooms, gets an opening frag on a Flom, but now he's caught between a rock and a hard place, sandwiched between two positions. Stamina's got to fight his way out of this one.
Yeah, he's trying to even be quiet too. He's not picking up the
Look at
M4
Freak
yet.
again!
Like, where is this coming from? Freakazoid is just being an absolute menace right now. He might get caught a little bit. He finally does, and there we go. Nouns have been able to finally pick up some kills, so now it just leaves it on to Hate on the 1-on-3. Bomb in hand, but man, that movement from Freakazoid, I don't get it.
So I'm thinking in that situation, it was him just scrimming through that banana side smoke, and he really again took a huge risk, and it comes out on top. Hey, kind of difficult to get a plant here. Oh, smoke does miss, and bwills and Carson have got things shut down from Heaven and Graffiti respectively. But again, another hole that's trying to be exploited by Mythic, and this time it's Stamina that pulls out some big highlights there in the bathrooms. I mean, I had said he had to fight, and fight he did. Getting an extra 2-piece before he goes down was really everything there.
Yeah, and that's a FAMAS too, right? I mean, he didn't even have a full equipment. I was talking a little bit about that earlier, and there we go. Finally see Nouns. They got a full belty utility. They're ready to go. I think this is the most we've seen so far this game in 5 rounds, but nonetheless, they pick up a pretty convincing gun round from them now. Mythic again, fully equipped. Cooper going to have the op out for himself this time. Flom just going to be rocking the AK. And right back to a default, though, Paladin. Again, they're not really changing much up here, and even Freak, I mean, he's still kind of cruising around with his teammates. He hasn't been able to get too much map control yet.
Yeah, it looks like they've completely pumped the brakes as of this round in particular. They're not necessarily keeping up the tempo as they did in the first 4 rounds. Again, trying to take slow banana control, and Hate through the smoke on a CJ. Talk about thanking your lucky stars there, because they've got themselves a man advantage, and now this is where you can really milk the clock here and just try to force Nouns' hands yet again. It is something that Mythic has been able to capitalize early, and you can see it. Cooper's holding for the long push. The rest of the squad hold up in bathrooms, and you leave Hate outside Monster. You really have all of your options up here, and Nouns are just trying to respond by retaking bathrooms themselves. Here comes Cynic.
There we go. That's a good trade, though. So even Cynic, even though he gets the 1 kill, but there's bwills just to find that immediate trade. So back to an even footing of 3-3. Carson just behind the pillar here. Needs to be able to find something big. Strong position. He's able to. Finds that first opener. Trying to look for a little bit more. But now Hate's going to have to lead this charge. A beautiful shot comes in too. So the bomb's going to make its way in. But bwills from above. And now it's completely flipped around. Cooper by himself. Going to get backstabbed. But no! Oh, God. He's able to get this shot. Things are getting a little bit more interesting. But bwills from the shallow waters comes up big. A second round is gained.
Real close there from Cooper. I mean, he definitely would be happy getting that first, but I don't think he hears the drop down and all that chaos, and bwills capitalizes. Another scrappy round there for Nouns. Right idea from Mythic trying to pivot in that mid round, but the read was just too good there from the CTs. Pause comes out here. I'm not necessarily sure. Yeah, it is just attack here from Mythic earlier on. Don't want to rescind too much momentum here, but they kind of do. I mean, their money's not the greatest here. I'm thinking a half buy is on the cards. That being said, Nouns they're really walking on the edge here. Like with all of these rounds coming down to 1v1s, 2v2s, your money's not going to be the greatest, and you can definitely see that. Although Stamina gets his AWP, CJ's on an MP9, so we really got to try to navigate this if you're a Nouns fan here. Cooper with the hero AK to kind of keep the economy in check, try to keep Nouns honest. And let's see what the game plan is to kind of activate this rifle here.
Just one player going to be going by themselves. It's bwills again. Close by connector, and now Mythic group up together. Like you said, I mean, Cooper to me is in the hot seat for this, but okay, he's already gone. Stamina finds him.
Wow.
That's an easy pickup, and that's, I mean, an AK that is semi-retrievable, but I mean, they might have to burn some utility to get it. And I think he just grabbed it. There we go. Flom's able to pick it up. No problems. But I mean, that's already a big loss here for Mythic.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting a little bit more of like, you know, the pistol baiting out a shot and then the hero AK trying to recover. But Stamina, he's just being given 1v1s straight up, and he'll take that every day of the week. This guy is pretty competent with the AWP, no less. And although he's solo within the bathrooms, it looks like this is his comfort zone here, Laz.
Yeah, it's looking really good, and this is a good thing to see from Stamina. There we go. He finally gets taken down. Hate's able to find a good opener, though. At least one of the first players down here from Mythic. Now the op's going to be put into Flom's hands. He's no stranger to this. Let's see if he's able to find both these players actually from Nouns, though, grouping up towards bathrooms. So they're playing close, but bwills actually, you know, pulls off on this one a little bit. Bomb finally gets picked up. But they only got so much time here, though, Paladin. I mean, they got 30 seconds to go.
And they're just kind of hobbling around with these weapons. They don't... I can definitely see a lot of hesitation here, trying to think of if a connector walk-up is the port of call, but it's going to be this A-site. Cynic up to bat. He needs one here, but Truck Lover just absolutely domes him with the D.
Yeah, that's big. So now even another opener comes up, too. So they get the site. Now there's a player advantage here for Mythic. All of a sudden now, what was looking good here for Nouns, it's kind of flipped on its head. He needs to get this big flank, but both players are just together. You're not supposed to be together in the washroom, but in this case, I guess it's going to work out for him. And now Carson has to save this. Like, he has no room at all to make an impact.
I mean, there was super lackluster bits of utility for Mythic. They needed that entry. The Deagle of Truck Lover comes out on top, and that flash popping right in front of Optimus, primed and ready for Hate, and gets Mythic their fourth. An unlikely one for sure, but it's one that's going to absolutely have ramifications for this half. We're talking 4 rounds for Mythic, and we're talking a potential force buy for Nouns, with this loss bonus being very, very ugly, all things said here. And hey, we were talking about the momentum, and Mythic have firmly grabbed it back into their favor.
Yeah, it makes me kind of wonder too. I mean, for Nouns, I mean, again, like, it almost feels like they're playing with a lot of respect, right? I mean, they're not playing like that confident style that we normally see them, right? They like to be that, you know, aggressive team. They like to get in your face, but I feel like right now they're even a bit of hesitating too. I mean, that last round we were talking about Mythic, you know, kind of second guessing, but I think it's Nouns that have been able to not feel comfortable at all in these 7 rounds that we've seen, and some good spam coming in. Stamina already taken down to 20 HP at 1:38.
God, I completely agree with you, Laz. I think the main issue is just they've not had their money truly under their feet so far, and I'm harping on that quite a bit, but it really can be the difference maker for these CT sides. I mean, we've seen so many CT hauls, but it always comes off the back of a great string of rounds, and Nouns have not had that opportunity just yet. And you see Freak shutting down the hero rifle. That should be all the threat from Nouns in this round. And now, slowly but surely, I mean, obviously that loss bonus will build up, but the economy is a super big deal, at least in trying to get out of these kinds of ruts, if you can't win those early aim duels and those early buy rounds.
Well, I think now is going to be a good determination to see if Nouns can bring something back. Again, the rifles are going to be out. No op or anything. And Famas here for CJ. I mean, CJ hasn't been fortunate at all with any rifles, right? I mean, he's kind of taking everything light. He's like, yeah, it's fine. I'll do it. I'll take the MP9s. I'll take Famas's, whatever.
You know, we didn't discuss about him too much in the pregame, but he is definitely a player that has been showing a lot of impact as of recent. He was a big reason why he was, why Nouns were so stuck into conference. And I'm hoping that he can have the bounce back. Good trades in a connector. And Stamina tries to abscond through short side. But that leaves a gaping hole here for Mythic to try and exploit. Again, you see Flom just running up banana. CJ gets onto the board for sure. But again, all this room being given up from the bathrooms. What can Flom do with this?
Oh, and there it is. Cooper, man, he just throws a molly. CJ was already down to, what, like 3 HP? Just roasts him. But look at Flom. He's got a lot of real estate in the site. And I think Nouns have a bit of an inkling that this is happening. And now finally the plant's going to come in, so they definitely know the jig is up. The player's going to come towards bank. And actually a beautiful shot comes in here from Stamina. He opens things up. Now the advantage given here for the CTs, but now they're going to need to find something quick. And Hate doing a great job to utilize a bit of a one-on-one duel right now. He's got a nice cheeky off angle. Cooper a little bit in the back lines, but Hate's able to still find another one and not able to find that second. So now everything is on the heroic here of Cooper.
Double flash up, smoke on the bomb, and Cooper swings just a little too early there. And capitalization from Nouns on the board here. It was definitely a strenuous round, all things said. Again, Flom exploiting the gaping hole of bathrooms. I'm not necessarily sure what Nouns are thinking with these gambles. I mean, you see basically initially after Stamina gets that kill and connector, it feels like that's the go signal for Mythic saying, you know, the bathrooms player is just not here. We can capitalize and just beeline it to the A site. And slowly but surely, Nouns are going to have to get conditioned to this. They have to keep that player in the bathrooms. It's such a pivotal position in all levels of the game, and we've got to keep that pace up here.
Oh, look at this aggression, too. You're talking about pace, and look at that. Even Stamina gets some big information gained right now. He actually pushes all the way through party, gets some intel like no one's close on by. Now he can reposition himself. So it's very good to know, and he knows that Mythic, again, weren't putting that pressure right away, but now you can see Mythic kind of refighting for this control. It'll cost him a bit of utility.
I think
and the one thing we're noticing...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you, man.
I mean, I think more importantly, the time that it takes to retake all that control is going to really bleed the resources here for Mythic.
Yeah, it definitely will. And that's the thing, right? I mean, you can even see Saminus playing on the long side A. He actually does get spotted. He hears the op starting to, soar right past him. He hightails out of there. He doesn't want anything to do with this. So they actually turtle in these sites a little bit more. Just the 2 players in A having the 3 stack towards B. But now Mythic are changing their plan up again. Still 46 seconds remaining on the clock. A has been definitely a massive success for them, so they're going to go for it again. Why not?
They certainly think there are holes here in the defense. So they're getting so much bathrooms control for so long that they think they can just capitalize, and rightfully so. It's only Stamina here, and he's caught flashed into his face. Truck over with another entry, and it's into the safe side.
Look at that. Another one comes up big too. So Freakazoid, he's going to come right through long. And that's a player in bank. And I think that's Cynic. But now, I mean, even Nouns, they might want to just, again, they have 3 players they could try to go for this, but they only have 1 PC utility and 1 single kit. And I think they realize this is just not worth the risk. They got to save these guns. This is a big, if they go for it and lose it, I mean, they're going to lose a ton of cash.
Yeah. And I mean, you see Cynic, he's definitely in the right place and the right time, but now it's a question of, can he get out and can he escape with this weapon? Because 3 men up, yeah, sure, you can have a scrappy buy, maybe a couple MP9s bought in, but 2 rifles, and that's where it really looks like a hamstrung buy, all things said. So 6 rounds on the board for Mythic. Very happy to see that they're putting up a fight. They've definitely studied Nouns and their philosophy on the CT side, and they're clearly capitalizing on Stamina in particular. I mean, they are judging their plays solely based off of where this guy is playing and how he's playing, and basically maneuvering around the defense very smartly. And I like what I'm seeing thus far from the stream team, if you will.
Yeah. The stream team are doing a great job. I think we're just going to wait things out a little bit here as there seems to be a bit of a pause. So we're just going to take that a moment. We'll make sure we're back here in just a few.
No, we're actually...
Oh, just kidding. No, we're back. Denver Con. Nope, just kidding. I thought it was longer. You know what? It's all good. I'd rather be wrong about this. So
Absolutely agree.
What I guess for you, Paladin, is there anything we're noticing that we want to see a little bit different from Nouns right now? Like, is there something you'd like to see despite this mixture of guns?
I think proactivity is the name of the game here. I mean, I'm not seeing too much of it from Nouns overall, and they're kind of allowing Mythic to run them around the map with these rotations. And I'm seeing bits and bobs of CT aggression. You know, we had the connector fight, and now we're having this monster fight as well. And Hate's just caught with his pants down, but look, he got away scot-free. This is huge for Hate because all this information garnered, as long as he stays alive here, they can try to really exploit the A site, but instead, Mythic pull back and they want to rescue Hate. It's a rescue mission here. And now it's Nouns' turn to back off.
Yeah, saving Private Hate, I guess, right? I mean, but I mean, they cost a lot of damage. I mean, even that nade that was thrown, I think that was Stamina, if I'm not mistaken, but that nade came in. Cooper's down to 64 with Flom catching that as well with 46. So that's a huge impact. A lot of utility damage coming in here from Nouns. We were talking about what do we need to see different? Well, apparently aggression is the name of the game. We're seeing what we saw so far in round number 10, but now we're back to the slow and steady race. A lot of utility being used already. Smoke comes in, but Freakzord's made it through, but he's going to be blind. But there's an immediate trade.
I mean, look how scared Nouns are that the A site will get exploited yet again. They gambled 4 on that site, and now you've got this scrambling from the CTs to try to dive into water. Truck Lover gets another. We're sitting into an even kill 3v3, but Hate, I don't know where he's getting this wallbang from. Bomb goes down. Cooper goes down for free. Stamina, I guess his position not noted, and suddenly it's just 7 HP, 1v2 flash.
And he goes for the big spray, but Stamina, he has a full amount of health, but taken down to 35, so now they're able to retrieve it up, pick up everything they need, and they got themselves a 4th, but man, these rounds are just scrappy, and like you said, I mean, Nouns, I mean, they were just thinking the name of the game here from Mythic was going to be just going back for that A-hit, but you got to give it for the stream team here at Mythic. I mean, they're mixing up the playbook a lot, and they're really catching Nouns off guard.
Yeah, you could definitely see that. I mean, just in the nature of that round in and of itself. I mean, if Mythic had better post plants, I think that is post plant positions. I think that's their round every day of the week. But with how quick Nouns were on the trigger to make that decision that we're going to go for this, you could see Stamina just bounding his way in the water and bwills trying to immediately fight from graffiti, and it didn't allow Mythic to get settled, and they find a way to scrap their way through it. Stamina gets his AWP again, posted up on long side, and this time it's Mythic trying to take short, trying to gang up on this B site.
Oh, that's such an opener, too. Look at the amount of room, though. Look, Cooper got that free kill. No impact. I mean, the fact that there's nothing with the CTs, and there it is! There it is again! And all of a sudden, we finally see Carson coming live with 2, but it's just too late. Now Stamina, a huge amount of work needing to be done. And off on a 1-on-3. He's able to find a first, so okay, hang on. Things could change around here. If he finds this next one close on by, yeah, I'm saying, you know, it could happen.
Definitely allows it to reset the situation. Tries to wallbang onto that default spot. Nade through should hurt Stamina quite a bit. 61 HP for himself. Smoke kit here, mind you. But he's really got to be offered up an aim duel, and he's not being given anything from Flom. He's got to get really lucky. And he's just off the mark.
Yeah, this is close. Man, these shots are just... He has no idea where they are. Oh my god, he gets the no-scope, but it's not going to matter. It's a cool little trick shot, but that's all it's going to be. Man, one more round. We see Mythic taking this half guaranteed with 8.
No, I think they've got themselves the half lead. I mean, with that comes the single loss bonus, and they're in double eco territory here, Nouns. We're talking a potential of 9 on the board here for Mythic. Things are going very, very sour here from Nouns, and I mean, we discussed about it in the pre-show that we really wanted to see just that momentum to be garnered earlier on by taking heads-up aim duels, and they're sticking to their guns. I mean, they're trying to take those 1v1s wherever they can, and they're coming out on top. Nouns have not warmed themselves into this matchup thus far just yet. I love this tempo being set from Mythic thus far, and it's caught Nouns completely breathless.
Oh, and a double swing, and the Truck Lover. Happy driving for him. Easy, easy, easy pickups. No reply at all from Nouns, and look at this now. They're scattered. Carson kind of holding the MP9, and the only utility available here for the CTs. Okay, well, pick up that kill, I guess. I mean, that's an interesting one. Gets rewarded with an AK. Sure, why not? Players close on by.
Yeah, Freakazoid gets another one back. And again, split 1-1 on sites. It's just bad to worse here from Nouns. I mean, honestly, the priority I'd take here is trying to save these weapons. Cynic can't do that. Carson with the Galil smoke and nade. I'd like to hightail it out if I was him. And that's definitely what he'll be doing here. 1/2 here for Mythic. And I'm glad we got a series on our hands here, Laz. I mean, I'd love to start off Season 44 with some kind of storylines building and brewing, because I've always thought there's potential on Mythic, but never truly recognized, just with the nature of how, you know, there's always a carousel of players being added and dropped from this squad. But the experience was always there that I always hoped that, you know, something would come of it. And maybe this is the start of something new. Trying to take a map off of Nouns, that's definitely no easy feat.
Definitely isn't. And this is a good thing to see. Like we said, Mythic are a team that have an immense amount of experience in this league. They've been around for a very long time with some minor roster adjustments, but again, pretty much the same core for quite a while. So it is good to see. And again, they're looking completely different than from what we saw here in Season 43, where they were a little bit on the lower end of the scoring lines. But man, it looks like whatever happened during the break, it's definitely paying off some massive dividends right now.
And now this is the easy conversion. Theoretically, of course. And here comes the B rush. I believe so.
Oh, CJ at the spot. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Freakazoid. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Classic Freakazoid. Despite the pistols, I mean, it's still, you know, vintage. Just entry, multi-kill.
Really takes you back to the good old days. I mean, this guy has been through so much of Counter-Strike history, and he's been trying for so long to make this thing work with Cooper. I mean, he had Swole Patrol with him. He went to E United with him. You know, so many different iterations of different rosters and organizations have these brothers try to make it work, and obviously varying amounts of success across the years. But Mythic is definitely trying to change that narrative. And it really starts with seasons like these.
Yeah, it is, and you can't even forget, I mean, this is the season opener too, so again, this is a lot of teams that are kind of still figuring out how teams are going to play against each other, you know, what's been happening during the breaks, how's their practice looking, and yeah, I talked a lot about that in the pre-show with Nouns, just saying, you know, we saw some results with, you know, the Flom Cup and stuff like that. We were like, well, we need to see a little bit of something different here from Nouns, and this is a big round. This is it. If they don't pick this up, I mean, like you said, we're pushing some big double digits here potentially for Mythic.
I think one thing that is always been troublesome about Nouns has been their CT sides. I mean, we saw it all the way back at the RMR as well, where they would have huge leads on T sides against some very top level competition. I mean, we're talking upper level North America, and they just would drop the ball because philosophically they've just really struggled with how they want to approach these CT sides. So overall, I mean, no lead is too big for Nouns to overcome if they have a T side in their back pocket. But it is something to just keep in mind as we go on throughout the series, throughout this season. I mean, just keep in mind with these kind of issues that they've been having for quite some time. How they actually overcome it, I'm very curious to see, because they've got a lot of individual skill that I think it could definitely be ironed out in if given enough time.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up too, because again, even for Nouns, again, their CT side win percentage on this is 44.3%, whereas things over on the other side are a lot higher. So
wow,
kind of showing why. And look at that Mythic again, man. A 1-2 punch. And there you go. Bombs planted. They got themselves an ace site, and this is a difficult position again, because Nouns, do they want to go for this retake? I mean, they have some utility. They have the rifles, but again, this next round is the last round of the first half. So I mean, I think for them, they realize, okay, let them have the 10th, and we got to fight for the last one.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to give them 11. I mean, that's for sure. Overall, you could definitely see the biggest pressure point here that Mythic have found out and have tried and true, just absolutely hit home, is that banana side. Smoke or setups be damned. They've just been finding ways to break through it. and they definitely should be rewarded with the haul that they've been producing here thus far. Very nice to see, and sadly, Nouns have not been able to find that amount of conditioning to break through that. They've fallen short in that regard, and they've been punished as such.
Yeah, and we look at this last round too. I mean, we were talking about they're going to try to save these 3 rifles, and they got farmed, man. They only saved 1. They saved 1 gun, and now they have to force everything up. I mean, yeah, they got a couple, FAMASs and 1A4 as well, in addition with Carson's, but definitely different than what we would have saw for this round 15. And this is a tough one, a tough pill to swallow here for Nouns, and this is a much needed round. And even now, the aggression's starting to come through connectors. So Mythic, they're changing the pace a little bit.
Yeah, look how far up Freakazoid is on short side, and the trades are good. Information garnered, double connector setup. But are they accounting for Carson here? Yes, they are, but he's a little too fast on the trigger. So all's well. Although bwills and Carson are low, Flom is still up into a possible 1v3.
Yeah, much needed round again, and this is where Carson already gets a little bit of a love tap, and now stamina has to come up big. He needs to come for the back lines. He needs to be able to find this player. He should be able to. Flom, there it is. Stamina, just go for the shot, and there it is. It's going to be a 10-5. Mythic going to be leading this thing off. We're going to take a break. We'll see you for the second half. Well, we're back, ready to go. Second half of map number 1, Overpass here with Nouns taking on Mythic. And Mythic now been able to show us some double-digit victories right now. Joined here with Paladin, and of course myself, Laz, and Paladin. What are your thoughts?
Real uphill battle here for Nouns. I mean, trying to see what their T side is made of. How are they going to climb their way back into this one? Early information garnered for Cooper. And here comes a little bit of monster aggression. Is Freakazoid aware of this? No, here comes the pounce onto the B site. That's an opening and a half for Nouns.
Yeah, this is exactly what we want to see from Nouns. I mean, finding that first opening duel. Get the good initiation. There we go. Cynic will find another one too. So now look at this. CJ running on through. He's trying to be a bit of a bulldozer. But Hate is able to find 2 more before he's put to the grave. And there we go. Finally seeing Nouns looking a little bit more clean and a little bit more confident. They pick up that pistol.
When they have the opportunity to set the tempo, Nouns get very, very scary. Trying to take those kind of peeker's advantage duels, and you can definitely see that's where their comfort is. That's where they've made their name, and that's where Nouns capitalize on that first pistol round conversion. I mean, you can just tell with even the stack coming through from Mythic, the rotation information all being garnered. The Glocks were just too strong there to overcome. And now, force by coming through from MTHCCooper on his vintage scout of his own. And it's really up to how Nouns want to go about this. Do we want a really heavy default here? Do we want a death ball? And it seems as though it's going to be the former. Not actually given anything just yet. I think mostly it's this walkout from Cynic that I'm looking towards. Whether he's offered up anything.
Yeah, this thing from Cynic could be big. CJ just going to join by him as well. Nice little bit of a default, like you said, and really taking a lot of hesitation on this and just kind of getting a bit of a feeler. I don't mind this at all. And a 3-player stack here from Mythic on terms of the B site, but even Nouns look like now they finally want to kind of pounce onto this. They're starting to group up a little bit. They have that 4-1 split. You can already see the utilities getting lined up here, Paladin.
Here it comes. It's not much, but, you know, a couple well-placed flashbangs, and it's going to be Blind City here on the B site. Truck Lover gets one, and Hate with a beautiful flick up on a CJ. 3v5. Things go from good to ugly real fast here for now. Carson through the barrels, gets a double. And it's just Freakazoid left in water alongside his brother and Cooper on water.
Oh no.
Trades, the setup, it's too good here, Laz. Mythic get themselves an 11th. It's unlikely and it's scrappy, but they're on the board.
What the hell was that? What did we just see from Nouns? Oh man, you could just see it was just a little bit disorganized and it was quite ugly. But Mythic, man, they made that scrappy round for them look real good. The brothers joined together, they double peek it, they win those fights, and all of a sudden, which was a clean pistol, turns into a massive, massive loss where they have to just put some deagles on the board and hope for the best.
Look, man, I was thinking this would be a very clean 2-0 for Nouns, especially with all of the preparation and match officials that they've had. And Cynic is trying to keep that in check with an absolutely disgusting pre-fire. Freakazoid down and out. And he's looking for more tags on a Truck Lover. And Nouns really trying to dig deep here with these deagles. Stamina with one as well. 2!
No way. The silver bullet, I guess. Okay, so now it's a 5-on-2. Mythic. I was just, criticizing Nouns here for a gross round, but I think this one's going to be able to pay some wonders potentially. Now another gun will be picked up. And these players, these CTs, they're a little bit scattered. They're still kind of waiting things out.
No, it's done. I think this is over.
They can't commit. Yeah, they just can't commit to this. I mean, there's no reason to. And again, if they use those rifles, they're going to have to go on a big amount of saves. So this affects them huge as a CT side.
Quite unlikely. Stamina walking up long and just entering through that A site. That is gross. I mean, the opening from Cynic is also very, very disgusting. An unlikely 7th, and we keep going. Stamina trying to hunt here. Rightfully so. But, I mean, look, with these force buys, usually you have rifles to pick up, and this time that isn't to be the case. There will have to be rebuys regardless, although they will have the money to back it up. This rifle sleeve from Mythic allows for themselves to get back into this. I mean, I don't think Nouns have the cleanest way back into this just yet. I mean, this is a start in the right direction, but there is definitely room for this to get ugly here in round number 19.
All right, well, we'll have to see what comes out of this. I mean, okay, a couple AKs, that scout that was picked up from the last round, so we're going to see what can be found here with stamina. I mean, this is scrappy from both teams, right? I mean, this is a couple glios too, so this is the scrappiest we can see of a round here in round number 19. It's all about whether we see another big opener, and CJ's able to find that nice little double boost. There we go. Picking up 2 kills for no price of anything, so they're fine. But look at this, Mythic. They're actually going to try to re-aggress on this. They want to fight and get some control back.
I'm thinking maybe some of these dinks would have been calmed over. And they want to take back short control. And look at this. This is just so ballsy from Freakazoid. People's expecting this. No, he gets 1, but that's about it. A lot of information garnered, but look at the man advantage just firmly in favor of Nouns here, Laz. I think they can waltz their way into this B side, and it's going to be very difficult for Truck Lover to stop this.
Well, this is the team we wanted to see, right? This is where we talked a lot about Nouns, where they can put up some big numbers on their T sides, where they're a lot more efficient and show us, like, you know, how well they can be as a unit. This is a good round to see, and again, clean, despite, you know, CJ and Cynic taking a lot of damage in that early interaction. They just remain calm. I mean, we were kind of criticizing them, or maybe I'll just say I was criticizing them a little bit about things were looking ugly and not the prettiest, but things are, it's slowly getting there.
The road to a comeback definitely must start somewhere. Flom set up for potentially 2 here. He does. And not the prettiest end to that round for Nouns. 2 men up. But I think they have navigated the force buy here well. And they should be able to be in the clear here. Maybe actually settling on this economy now that everything is said and done.
Yeah, look at the money situation here. A couple nades that are going to come in from Mythic. Possibly just look for, you know, a cheeky little HE kill, maybe, I don't know, but Nouns, hopefully if they can, you know, preserve their weapons as much as they can in this round 20, that'll be big for them in terms of the money game. Having a bit more focus again towards this B site, and it's actually a full stack, so look at this. I mean, Mythic, they are ready to go. They are ready. They are the mousetrap.
And the trap is sprung. Stamina and 6 still, though. Those nades don't do anything. And they get onto the bomb site pretty much scot-free. The stack means absolutely zilch. 9th on the board for Nouns, and we head into a situation where Flom's got his AWP out. Very curious to see how this goes about it. I mean, I don't necessarily know kind of how the opping duties goes about on this team. Cooper and Flom are both very capable of wielding the big green on either side. But it looks as though this time around it's going to be Flom tasked with the defensive AWP here.
A lot of responsibility, like you said. See if he can wield some big kills. He's able to find that first connecting shot. He's able to make it happen. CJ put down already. Good start here from Mythic. This is what we saw in the first half. This is where they were starting to win those opening engagements. But now it's about Nouns if they can pull something big. Some double flashes coming in from Stamina. Some early aggression maybe through Monster. No, they're going to pull back on that plan. Right now, Nouns, again, a little bit of hesitation for this take, but a nice pickup from Carson. That's a beautiful shot. Oh, there's another one, too. And there we go. Carson's reading this like a book. You can see that Hate's close on by. Stamina with a nice little bit of a crab spray, and there you go. Nouns, they've been able to put their logo all over the site. It's whether we want to see Cooper and Flom attempt this, but again, like you said, a big investment with the big green now, and I don't know if it's worth it in this kind of a case.
No, not at all. I think this is a very well orchestrated round there from Nouns. They kind of double pumped there with the double flash, considering that they would just pop in through. Mythic try to get prepared for it, but they re-engage with the molly on barrels, and really Carson getting up the short side and making Mythic feel real uncomfortable there.
Oh, man.
Fantastic stuff.
Oh, timing!
They're trying to chase down Flom, And I
Oh,
think
he
this
looked away.
might, I think this might actually catch out Flom. This might
think it
be
will.
to his detriment.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure here. I think that's Cynic. He's got some good ground. There it is. He takes down the Opper. That's a
more
massive
important.
pickup. So now they can't even retrieve it. So
Oh.
even if Cooper was gonna have one more second to get that kill, he probably wouldn't have had enough time. But man, that's massive, massive from Nouns. And again, this is where we talk about this is an entirely different team. That break, switching things over to that T side, it is just going miraculous right now.
And I mean, you can just see the playbook, the depth within some of these moves. I mean, they definitely rely on winning up some heads-up aim duels, but the setup in which they actually produce those T-sided rounds are genuinely very exciting to see, and some of the best that's being produced in North America across the board. I mean, across all levels of the game. I have a huge like love for Nouns T-sides. It's just trying to figure out those defensive halves that really produces my love-hate relationship for this team, and I definitely am in that, more in that love camp right now. That
Yes.
we're seeing an absolute clinic here from Nouns thus far.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about, right? And that's what I was kind of saying. Like, this team is really known to get in the face. You know, they get aggressive. You know, they don't seem to have a lot of fear. But man, that's those CT sides, like you said, it's just not really the full picture of what this team can bring to the table. And right now, they're showing us the main course here on T side. One rifle available here from Cooper. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, there we go. Tee it up and it's gone.
Wow, Truck Lover even had the jump there. He does. Freakazoid does get the trade. And look at this, man. I mean, all of these pieces of the map that they're trying to take over, it's like 4 or 5 players that's around the same position. But they're just getting picked apart in these 1v1s, segmenting these fights so well or Nouns. And Cynic, he can just waltz his way up into the B bomb site. I guess Cooper is trying to save this A1S. Maybe a hard read to try to expect something coming in through connector. But this is an 11th written all over it for Nouns. And they've found a way to come through with all of these stacks that Mythic have been presenting towards them. And they've been passing just these tests with flying colors.
Yeah, this round alone, and now we're going to bring it back to a tie game. And the money situation's pretty dire here for the CT side of Mythic. I mean, if Flom can find a kill and pick up a rifle, yeah, that could be a nice little cherry on top, I guess, going into this next round. But that ain't the case. There's bwills. He's just hiding. He's just lurking. And now Cooper has to survive. This is an entirely different game he's playing right now.
Oh, I'd be running in this situation. I don't know why he's holding up in connector and he gets punished. Cynic rips his head off, rightfully so. And it doesn't get saved over. He picks up an AWP of his own. It looks like now it's being given over to him. So no, it doesn't feel like there's necessarily a game plan. Maybe he's being played by spawns. That's also a definite possibility. But this time it's Cooper on the Zoom banger, as the Aussies say.
And that's the thing too, is again, like we were saying, it's that the rifle could have been saved. I mean, that could have preserved some more funds with that utility, right? So instead, yeah, they got a full amount of rifles and the AWP ready to go, but it's going to cost them in the utility bank a little bit here. Back to a 3-2 setup coming in from Mythic. Putting a little bit more attention towards this B site now. And even you can see Nouns, again, just kind of, you know, playing right back down to a default, waiting things out. They do have that water control, so that's already a lot of info gained. Cooper by himself. Oh, my God. Okay, he's able to give a nice haircut.
And, I mean, we talked about proactivity on Nouns' CT side, and trying to cut the map in half for Mythic, and they get rewarded for it. I mean, finally, they've been gifted a favorable 1v1. Taking down the newest addition on this Nouns squad. Cynic, he just tried to walk up short. Wow, that's bold. And Freakazoid punishes immediately. Now 5v3. This is finally an opportunity for Mythic to run away with this.
Yeah. But at least the good thing is that we see the bomb is in possession still for Nouns, so at least they can work with that for the remainder of this round here with the 38 seconds. And again, they got already up on towards shorts. Now you can see CJ just hightailing, trying to regroup, but
for Cooper,
this is scary. Cooper's right there. Oh man, he could just backstab this. He can be an absolute thorn in the side. Look at him just running around the scope. He's frantic. Oh, there it is. Oh no. This could be it. This could be the shambles. Ooh. It's 15 seconds and the bomb's still down. But look at this. Hang on. Carson!
No!
Carson picks up 2!
What's going on? I mean,
they got enough time.
bwills gets a plant down, 2v2, only a flash up for Mythic. They've absolutely botched this on the bank side. How does Hate get through this?
Oh, this is the most NA round I've ever seen in my life. And there we go.
No.
And now Hate by himself. He's in the bank. He's got the cash, but he's not able to get out of here. And there it is. Nouns put themselves in a lead position. The heroics come in from the individual performances of Carson. And oh my God, I can't believe they got away with that.
I believe that was a 2v5, if memory serves me correct. And it really comes down to how they are. I mean, Cooper, first of all, did his job there, getting that first, and bwills hit a stellar shot to actually turn things around there. It's not an easy shot by any means, down from the flower pots to deep bathrooms like that. But it's really, I guess, the spacing on bank that just absolutely collapsed there, and they couldn't get the trade onto Carson. The individual prowess, as you said, shines through, and that is an absolutely demoralizing clutch to lose. That is like a map losing clutch in a lot of ways. It's very hard to come back from things like that.
It really is, and it's not even just like a 1v1 clutch. I mean, like you said, it was a 2v5. A 2 versus 5. So the fact that we see Nouns pick up a round like that, a round statistically they probably shouldn't win, that's demoralizing. That is going to impact any team, but it's whether if Mythic can kind of, again, just kind of brush it off, let it go. There's still a few more rounds to bring things back. Cynic's able to get some good ground here. Should be able to find this. He spots the shoulder. It's pretty messy, but it'll do. Gets the opener. So now they should know. They have some information that there's a stack here, but they're still going to press the buttons. Oh, gosh.
Freakazoid gets away with murder there. Another kill. But again, information's not being garnered from Nouns. These death cams aren't providing enough information. So there isn't actually an indication as to how many players are on this bomb site. Carson does get a little bit of info, and now that short regression tells everything. It's an absolute bloodbath here, Laz. I don't really know how to commentate this.
Are they even in the same like voice channel? Are they using the same program? Like, that looks like you said, it doesn't even look like they're communicating to each other. There's just not the communication there at all, and they just ran into a stack. I thought they had the information, and now Carson, he's only got 10 seconds. He's still able to find a kill. He's got the bomb out, but Freak. Oh, man, he's able to pick it up, and somehow, some way, Paladin, we're at a tie game?
The round that Mythic should not be winning in any situation finally goes in their favor, and that is one of those rounds that can finally turn the tide. I mean, you've got veterans who have been through, you know, the most turbulent Tier 1 LAN experiences against the biggest crowds and against the biggest competition. And now you've got to dig deep and figure out find a way back into this map here. They've definitely got that resiliency. They've been through it all. And that's definitely a round to boost the morale there for sure.
Well, the big green's still available here. Actually, double ops from both Fulham and Cooper. So that's a big change for them too, right? We haven't actually been able to see, I don't think, any double ops at all in this game, in this map one. I'll be curious how that can work out for them. And I like that too, because now they probably won't be expecting this, and this could be a problem. I mean, the op has been a bit of an issue. There it is. Cooper gets a nice opener.
They're both on the side of the map here, Laz. I mean, finally, I think Cooper is starting to rotate. Actually, no, he's posted up on garbage. And he was that a one-way? Was that a pre-fire? What's going on? Carson's got an entry out of the A site.
I don't get it. Man, Carson, he's just coming up big. He's been just putting up massive kills here. Oh, okay. All right. I don't get it. Nouns. They're just pulling everything out here.
Maybe that was a GoTV thing or something, but that was absolutely disgusting from Carson. That's like, you know, I'm reporting that guy in matchmaking for sure. Like,
nice pickup finally. Flom brings it back, even footing, 3-3. A smoke available here from the CT side in terms of utility, so they got to get moving now if this is what they want to do. No reason to save. They got to contest this. No available utility here from the T side, but CJ's close. Smoke does get dispensed, but there's CJ. Finds a good one onto Hate. The fake defuse, and there it is. Now they just scrap everything up. Man, they get the lead, but it's just barely.
Yeah, but more importantly, I mean, they take away all the guns. There's a huge risk going for that 3v3. And with that absolute collapse comes only Cooper really with money here. And so you're into this predicament where do you really want to actually purchase into this? It's going to be a hero AWP for Cooper and pistols to surround it. He's got a decent spawn to go for a fountain peak, but that's really all they've got going for them in this one. A potential 14th on the cards unless Cooper steps up big.
Yeah, he's posted up too. Waiting things out. I think he might have actually spotted him. I'm not too sure. It was really close. Triple player here by Fountain, which is good. So now actually Flom, he's able to get some more real estate available. Nouns have given this up. They do have, I believe that's bwills, just kind of waiting things out. But this is good. I actually like this aggression we're seeing from Mythic because, again, they're just kind of putting a good pressure point. They're getting free map control, which is, I think, kind of the name of the game right now.
Yeah, but with that, I mean, they have every idea as to where this hit is coming, but they can just walk out Monster and completely nullify all of this aggression. It's only really Hate on the side, and he gets ripped to pieces.
Oh, this truck lover. Not loving this situation. No, 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 sir. And Cooper finally picks up a bit of a trade, if you want to call it that, I guess. Cooper able to find another too, but he takes a mad amount of damage. So it is a 3-3. Rifle going to be picked up. Double up, just kidding. I thought it was double rifle. It's going to be double up, so that's fine. All right. So they might just hightail out of here and just let Freak do his own thing.
No, I mean, that's such a big economic investment outright. And look at that. Freak gets away with the rifle. So this is looking like quite the great save here. Although they had a decent idea, I don't think they were able to capitalize fast enough. That short side play doesn't reap its benefits. 14 on the board for Nouns. I mean, look, you can get these saves off, but at the end of the day, you're losing all of your leads that you had, all the momentum that you had, and potentially the map here. It's kind of now or never.
It is now or never, like you said. I mean, double green's going to be available. Everything's going to be purchased up. I mean, this is it. This is the round that could really tell how this game could go. And I mean, it's 2 rounds needed here from Mythic for bringing it back to a tie, but rifles across the board here from the Nouns camp. Do we just kind of see the, the classic Nouns, just, big old rush A site, rush site X?
I mean, it's been working wonderfully for them, right? I mean, these side exits have been great. The flashbangs have been perfect. And it's just done enough to make them feel as uncomfortable as possible. And this time, another man advantage goes into the favor of Mythic. They've been few and far between, sure. But when they've gotten them, they've been able to rip it through and Hate with a very, very clean wallbang. Getting shades of Zipniks from this guy. And Freak gets another 2v5 trying to dig deep here, Nouns. And I think we've got ourselves a 13th being gifted on over to the CTs.
Yeah, and the fact that we see that Hate's able to get a double kill, like just spamming, like that's insane. I mean, Nouns weren't even able to find him. Like that was just perfect lineup, perfect timing. I mean, that couldn't have gone any better for him.
Absolutely.
And now, I mean, there's a bit of a utility bait here coming in from Nouns, but they only have a volley available. That's going to be removed, so it's just down to bwills on a massive clutch situation. He's down to 10 HP, and that's it. They're 13th, and yeah, they got some money. I mean, bwills is sitting at 13K, so I mean, the money situation is not the issue. It's just, what do they do now?
I think that's definitely one that you can kind of shrug off. It's a situation where you got timing. You lost that man advantage quite early off of spam, and Freakazoid just had the right play on short side. That I think it's definitely one thing that you can ignore and go back to your game plan again. Now, this is kind of the swing round in terms of momentum, not necessarily economy, but it'll definitely set the tempo for these final few rounds. And Cooper, he's starting off things with a bang. I believe that was down in connector. You're not necessarily seeing that kind of aggression on that side of the map, and it catches Nouns off guard.
Yeah, they haven't really contested for this connector control. So again, I love that we're starting to see, a little bit more creativity coming in from the CT side. That's something that I think you were commenting a little bit before from Nouns, that they needed to, be productive. And now I think Mythic are kind of taking that big note. And they got themselves an opening duel. They take down Cynic, which in my opinion is a huge impact. Now it's whether how Nouns can be able to find themselves a bit of an opening. That's what's tough.
I mean, one of the ugliest scenarios that you can have yourselves in on T-side overpass is being man down. It's just very hard to dig yourselves out of this kind of a rut. You need a Herculean entry, and that's what they're looking for. Stamina leading the pack with the bomb, but CJ, well-placed flashbang for bwills to get himself an entry, and now they're in.
For how long? And that's the bomb. It's over peaking. Stamina was trying to get something done, a little bit of a cheeky opener, but no. It's completely flipped around. So now Carson by himself on the 1-on-2. I mean, he's been able to do God's work, but this ain't the round, son. And now we're back to a 14-14.
That's well played from Cooper, punishing the re-aggression from Stamina. I mean, that should be a bomb plan every day of the week, I'd like to think, to secure themselves a potential into the round. But a little overzealous there from the Opera of Nouns, the IGL as well. And we've got an even keel map number 1 here to start off the series. I'm glad to see Mythic bouncing back after the folly of that 2v5. This map just might have more legs to it here, lads.
Yeah, it's really come down to the wire, hasn't it? It's just when you think, Nouns might have, themselves a nice big lead. Nope, that ain't the case at all.
Ooh.
That's a good lineup. I thought that nade on top of that could have really made things a little bit chaotic here for Nouns, but it's all good. Crisis averted. Ooh, they're going to go for the boost. This could be good. They haven't done this at all yet.
Not at all. And I mean, with this 3-player setup, definitely room for it to come back to bite Mythic. And yeah, look at that. Hate caught with his pants down. Beautiful flash from Stamina to set it up. Truck Lover does pull one back, but CJ just bringing a Bellow Freakazoid, and Stamina getting one on a Truck Lover. It's only Freak on the site. I say that Cooper's here as well. Brothers hand in hand, and it's down to this 1v1 to decide who will get map point first.
Oh, it's a fake too, so lots of time he's burning it. bwills, turn around! You need to look down there, and there he's spawning the shoulder. Now he knows the positioning. He's going to try to just run around the bomb site, and there is a beautiful shot. bwills, who other than him? He brings it to a map point.
I think he was trying to feign that he would go A there. I mean, making all those footsteps on the wood and then jumping up onto the default box, that was impressive to say the least. The movement there was immaculate. Yeah. That's really what won him the round. Obviously, an immaculate shot as well. And look at what it has done to the money of Mythic. I mean, the double ops are up, sure, but you got a deagle on your B anchor. And a real tough situation to get yourself out of. Cooper Molotov'd off. That connector peak isn't going to come again. And spam from, I believe, Graffiti.
I think it was, yeah. And it was just a little bit of damage, just a little touch on the toes. It was like, hey, we're here. Just don't forget about that. So that's okay. But again, like just having the double ops, I mean, this is risky, man. In my opinion, like in a round like this, like down to the wire, it has been beneficial, but you almost think surely they would have wanted a bit more rifle with some more utility, but they can prove me wrong. They've definitely been able to do that this game thus far.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the story of this map thus far, right? All together, just battling back in the fashion that they have. Stamina. Is he really thinking about flirting with this smoke? Is he going to do what he did in that first half? Yes, he is.
Oh, this could be a free kill. This could be just huge. This could change everything around right now. And Stamina, look at how much control he has. Oh my god, they're never going to expect this. The trigger dismon, there it is. He gets the opener, but he doesn't know Cooper's in there in the washroom. And there you go, peekaboo. And there he's able to bring things back. The player advantage again for Mythic. And now Nouns are going to go right for this B hit. 23 seconds remaining though, Paladin. They have to move now.
They have to go, and it's only this deagle of Truck Lover in the water side. But the double ops are here. They're here to fight back. And this 2v4 and 10 seconds left on the clock is unlikely. Are we going to overtime here? CJ is trying to say no.
Oh, and he peeks that! Oh, Carson peeks that, but there's a double boost. And there's another one from Carson! Carson's been able to pull up some massive heroics. That's going to be a triple. That's going to be huge, and that's going to be the round for Nouns. We're going to take a break. We'll be back for map number 2.